Hi everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the December 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Capricorn. Please keep in mind, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus placements. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs and see which video's title resonates for you most. With regards to the spread, I'll be pulling a Celtic cross using the intuitive tarot and then clarifying with the Waite deck. Now we do have a slight variation on my usual spread. So what I'm going to do is, when it comes to the overall energy, okay, so what's crowning you at this time, and also the potential outcome, I'll be pulling 2 additional cards from the Quantum Oracle, okay? So that's going to be slightly different this month, just to wrap off the year, okay? And other than that, let's get into your reading. So, Capricorn, just while I shuffle your cards again, I want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing, and even sharing my videos. It means a lot to have your continued support, so thank you so much for being a part of this community. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you're informed of when your next set of readings goes up on the channel. If you'd like a personal reading with myself, you can find that information in the description box below. Alright, also it's important that you guys don't forget that I'm still running my festive giveaway, so if you'd like to win a free personal reading with myself, you'll need to go to the festive giveaway video ×4, that's the title, okay, and follow the instructions there to enter, okay, because I will be pulling the winner, the name of the winner for the Earth Signs giveaway next Monday, okay? So it's important that you enter as soon as, if you want to win. Okay, I think we have all of your cards, at least the key energies, so let's get into it. So when it comes to your present circumstances, Capricorn, you have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, okay? 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is Earth energy, your energy, okay, along with Taurus and Virgo. So I feel like with this, it's a case of you're feeling the need to perhaps release something or to stop holding on so tightly, right? I get this real sense of needing to release attachment to something and let it breathe, let it be, let it exist, let it come together, right? I feel like you're gripping onto something too tightly here, so we'll see what that is. Crossing the situation in your position of the challenge, you have the Knight of Swords, okay? Knight of Swords, that's air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You are trying to move forward towards something, right? I feel like you are trying to take action. Either you're trying to sever something, or I feel like you're trying to release something and move on, essentially, right? Because you are understanding that you clinging tightly to something that no longer serves where you're currently at, or isn't a part of this chapter that you're walking into. Because remember, sometimes things aren't lost entirely, or they're not released forever, right? Just because you let go of something doesn't mean it won't return in the future, right? So I feel like for now, at least, you're having to move on, right? From something or someone or some situation or an environment, okay? That's your challenge here. When it comes to your recent past, you have the Star, okay? So Aquarius energy, you could have been dealing with an Aquarius or have it in your chart. But I feel like with the Star card here, it's essentially saying that, you know, if you want something bad enough, what is required of you? What are the key ingredients here for you to make it manifest into your reality? Because I think perhaps for too long you were kind of dreaming of this abundant future or obtaining something, right? But you didn't necessarily have all of the key ingredients to bring it together at this time. So maybe that, or the situation didn't have the key ingredients that is required to bring this, you know, wish fulfillment into reality. And that's why you're having to let go of something that is, you know, aligned, what you thought was aligned to this, right? So that could be the case for you. Now, when it comes to your near future, you have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So I do feel like by you choosing to release and surrender and just give it up to the universe, it brings you one step closer to your Ten of Cups, right? So it's obviously necessary for the process that you don't grip too tightly. There are some other, like I said, I feel like there was some key ingredients that were missing here. Not necessarily that you didn't show up with the right energy or you didn't have the right tools. It could be one of those things also, but I feel like another aspect of this is that, you know, divine timing was at play. There were things that needed to align, right? And it's not at that point yet. So you do need to surrender control so that can be, you know, brought into effect, right? There's a whole process going on behind the scenes. Kind of think of it as, you know, a mathematical equation, also as like a computer program, right? It's running multiple tasks simultaneously in order to make, you know, the program work, in order for whatever it's supposed to do happen, right? So that's pretty much how it is. It's like there's some key functions that need to be carried out in the background. There's some key processes that need to happen. Things need to come into alignment first. When it comes to your feelings, you have the World card in reverse, okay? World card in reverse. So it's essentially you feel like, you know, something is left unfinished. Something is incomplete, right? Unfinished business. Things have not been resolved. Things have not been cleared up. Things have not been wrapped up in order for you to be able to confidently move into this next chapter, i.e. because there's still things at play here. I feel like it's just screaming the same message over and over, to be honest with you. There's stuff that needs to happen behind the scenes to bring this together. The energy crowning you, we'll go into the Quantum Oracle first before we go into the Tarot message surrounding that. So let's pull the Quantum Oracle card here. So what is the crowning energy for the month of December 2020 for Capricorn, please? All right, so you have the healing light in reverse. So there may be, there may be another reason why this is being put on pause, possibly because there's some healing that needs to take place, especially, you know, if your wish fulfillment involves a connection or it involves a situation that brought a lot of pain or trauma into your life, right? There's a lot of healing that is required there. So that's where that detachment is required. Detachment from the situation, the event that took place that brought you a great deal of pain, right? That you're needing to recover from. So that could be, you know, an additional factor here, because the healing light is in reverse. So I feel like you have been avoiding taking the healing path for some time on some level, right? There is a little bit of self-sabotage here is what I'm getting, because of, could be multiple reasons, but it may also be a feeling of wanting to distract rather than deal with it head on, right? Because the cards you have with this from the tarot is the Three of Cups. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's like, you know, you're wanting to have a good time. You're wanting to do things that bring pleasure, enjoyment, fulfillment, happiness, right? I feel like this is more of a hedonistic energy though, rather than a celebratory one. I feel like you're trying to lose yourself in the pleasures of life in order to avoid doing the shadow work here, because that is very much a thing that's coming through, I feel, right? That there is healing and shadow work and processing that needs to take place here, but instead there is a desire for distraction. And I feel like that's kind of another energy that needs to be, you know, addressed here. When it comes to your advice, you have the Magician, Virgo energy. So you could have Virgo in your chart, but I feel like this is great. I love that the Magician turned up in this part of the reading, in this placement, because I feel like, yeah, essentially it's telling you that you have everything you need. So it's like I was saying before, it's not necessarily that you didn't have the tools or the right energy. I feel like it's telling you that you need to realize that you have everything you already need. It's just you need to change your perception, change how you approach it, right? Because right now you're trying to distract rather than deal with the situation. And it's telling you that you have the ability to turn this around, but it does require you focusing on the task at hand, but also releasing this need for control and things to be exactly, you know, as you envisioned it, right? You have to kind of allow things to come into play organically in a way that makes sense, right? Because even though it might make sense for you for something to arrive in such a way or to play out in such a way, you may not, I mean, you won't have all the facts, right? You won't have a complete 360 view of all the variables that are involved in this, right? So there may be a specific reason why this is playing out slightly differently than you imagined, but you do have the ability to turn this into a very positive situation, but it does require you addressing your wounds and addressing what needs alchemizing within yourself first, okay? And then when it comes to your external influences, so this can be people, places, situations, environments. You have the Temperance card, so that's Sagittarius energy. You could be dealing with a Sag or someone who has strong Sagittarius. But I feel like this is perfect because this is exactly the energy here. It's like saying you need patience, it needs time, alchemization. You see like the two jugs, right? So you were pouring the right ingredients and tools into the situation, but it does require divine timing, divine assistance, because there's things playing out in the background behind the scenes that you aren't currently aware of, right? So I feel like rather than this being about someone else's influence, I feel like this is about divine timing, divine, you know, interception, right? Because there's something that needs working out here, but I feel like it's outside of your control. So when it comes to that aspect, you do have to surrender that up to the divine. When it comes to your fears, you have the 8 of Pentacles, okay? 8 of Pentacles, Earth energy. So yeah, you're afraid. I really got this sense in your reading, Capricorn, that there is a fear of putting more effort, energy, work into something that you feel may not lead to anything fruitful, right? It's like you have a real fear of self-mastery for some reason. But it's interesting because I've always had this feeling that one of our greatest fears as a collective is not so much the power others have over us, but it's about, you know, what happens if we truly step and own our own sovereignty, our own power, right? I've always got that sense that people fear, you know, looking themselves in the mirror and confronting their shadow aspect, but also fear becoming their true selves, becoming like their unleashed form, right? So it's interesting that it's come up here for you. I do get a sense of that you're afraid that if you were to put in the extra effort, put in the extra work into healing yourself, you're afraid of what you'll become, because you understand that, you know, great power comes great responsibility. And I feel like you struggle with that aspect on some level, you know. So we'll have to see when we clarify. When it comes to your hopes, you have the 6 of Wands in reverse. So this is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. So yeah, your hopes is that, because 6 of Wands usually talks of being victorious in the upright, but it's like you're hoping it's like, again, it's like you're hoping that things will kind of work out without you having to show up, right? And having to extend yourself, because you got to remember the 6 of Wands in the upright, you see like a knight coming back victorious from battle, right? He's just slain the enemy, he's won, he's come back after a hard fought battle, right? You're not wanting to you're not wanting to exert yourself on that level. So it's like hoping for the victory without actually showing up and putting in the hard graft, essentially, right? You don't want to fight for it. You just want to be in that energy of magnetizing whatever is meant for you. I.e., if you're in the magician energy, you'll be able to do that, right? But it does also require certain actions on your part, right? Especially when it comes to detachment. So it's important to be aware of that. And then finally, let's have a look at the potential outcome. So I'm gonna go to the Quantum Oracle again, and we will see. Okay, so you have status quo in reverse, right? So there's something about what's playing out here. I feel like generally you lead a life. Sorry, I will be able to speak one day. It will happen. I feel like generally you lead a life that is out of the norm. Oh my gosh. Out of the norm, right? We'll get there, I promise you, right? Verbal dyslexia all over the place. And that's not a joke, like, for real. Yeah, I feel like, you know, you just generally lead a very unconventional life, because you understand that your path doesn't have to mirror what society deems to be, you know, the conventional path, or deems to be the right path, right? You're finding your own way, which is not a bad thing at all. I just feel like while you may be exploring a new path, you're not, there's certain things that do need addressing. There's some things that you do need to take a different approach on. So it's not that you have to walk a different path, but I think your method needs looking at, right? Your approach to whatever this path is, whatever direction you're wanting to take, right? And especially because with that, you have the Two of Cups in reverse. So there is, in my mind, there is some kind of, there's a need to address healing within the self. And I feel like if you are experiencing some kind of issues within a romantic connection, that will help to transform that as well. Okay. So Capricorn, interesting, because I just picked up the Waite deck to start the clarifications, and the cards that just flicked out underneath the deck was the Hierophant in the upright and the Devil in reverse. So that's your energy, and that's Taurus, right? So you could have Taurus in your chart, but I feel like this is what this is screaming of, is overcoming your fears, overcoming, you know, all of the things that the shadow aspect is revealing at this time, and kicking it back into its rightful place, right? Because I feel like you've allowed the shadow to reign for too long, but you're coming slowly to the understanding where you self-sabotage, where you may possibly even self-medicate, right, with alcohol or substances to avoid dealing with the issue at hand. But I feel like you're coming out of that energy and moving towards a more ascendant path, i.e. addressing the issues head on, healing, elevating oneself. So that is very good. So let's hope you do that, Capricorn. At the end of the day, it is within your power to do so, whether you realize it or not. It's just the truth. It is within your power to do so. Okay? If it wasn't, it wouldn't be in your path. It's just that simple. Whether you choose to or not, or whether you feel like you can or not, it's another thing, but you can. It is within your capability, right? So let's go into the clarifications now quickly. But yeah, I feel like this is a lot of self-reflection is required at this time. A lot of healing is absolutely necessary, because I feel like, yeah, for some of you, you're already in a relationship, or you may be seeking, you know, something, a long-term relationship, something very significant, but you're not quite ready for it yet. There's some work to be done here. And if you're already in a relationship, I feel like you're slowly coming to realize how these wounds that you've been carrying that remain unhealed are affecting your relationship, or even past relationships. Okay. So clarifying the Four of Pentacles in reverse in your current position, you have the Moon card, so that's Pisces, also can be associated with Cancer, and you have the Hermit in reverse, so that's Virgo, okay? So you could be dealing with, you know, a Pisces, Cancer, or Virgo, but I feel like regardless, you're needing to come to the realization that the more you detach from the situation, and you know, needing to have this person in your life and things be perfect, and focus more on what healing you can do within, what inner work needs to be taken very seriously, what introspection is required, the type of introspection that you need to help you really get to the root of where your fears of detachment comes from, right? It may also be, you know, there may be some fears involved with abandonment issues. If that's the case, you need to address that head on. But I feel like you're not right now, you're not seeing the root of the issue, you know, and it does stem from you having, you know, a tremendous amount of fear about putting in the work, going the extra mile, and also, but at the same time, releasing attachment of things that no longer serve you, right? So crossing the situation, clarifying the Knights of Swords here, you have the Hierophant in reverse. So there's that Taurus card again. Some of you could definitely have Taurus in your chart. And you also have the Ace of Pentacles, right? So that's interesting. So it's like saying, as soon as you basically, once you decide to let go a little bit of whatever the situation is, especially if you are in a relationship, you know, if you kind of pull back a little bit, not pull away from the person, but don't put so much emphasis on the connection being perfect and this person making you fulfilled, or, you know, bringing fulfillment into your life, and focus more about slaying your inner demons, right? Then you'll have a real opportunity to turn things around, right? The universe will then be like, boom, here you go, I can give you this now. But until then, until that happens, there's not really much the divine can do, because you're not using your higher wisdom, right? You're not using your higher wisdom and acting upon it, right? Which is what you're being encouraged to do, you know, to go within, to use, you know, tap into that stream of knowledge that you have within, come to understand what needs cutting out, what needs addressing, and then boom, the universe can give you what you asked for. So clarifying the star in your past situation, recent past, you have the Four of Pentacles again, but this time in the upright. So there we go, that's you clinging on for dear life. And then the Two of Cups again, right? So we have twos coming up a lot, Two of Cups, and we have the Four of Pentacles coming up twice as well. So the numbers 2, 22, and 222, and 4, 44, and 444 could be very important to you at this time. This is all about stability, grounding, divine feminine, masculine, balance, you know. It's about taking action. It's about, you know, bringing the scales into a sense of equilibrium, building the foundation within, so you can then build it in the external, right? So, but I do recommend looking into that more in terms of numerology. But I feel like here as well, it's essentially saying, yeah, I mean, you really wanted this. You put a lot of energy and effort and time, you know, and emotion, desire into this, right? But the problem was you were still clinging on for dear life, you know, not letting it breathe, not giving it the time it needed in order for the connection to come together, right? So I do get that sense, like, you know, for those of you who are single, that you were pinning all of your hopes on this connection coming together rather than focusing on your own inner healing. For those of you who are in a relationship already, I feel like that became the priority and you forgot yourself, okay? Now, when it comes to your near future, the Ten of Cups in reverse, you have the Lovers in reverse, so that's Gemini, and you have the Two of Pentacles. Oh, so yeah, I feel like if you do this work, it'll bring you one step closer towards being in true alignment with the self. However, as it stands right now, you're not going to hit the Ten of Pentacles until you realize where your energy may be a little bit fragmented, because it's like wanting to put effort into this connection. You feel that there is only one person for you and you know exactly who that is. But your energy is very mixed, you know, because you still haven't done this this deep-rooted healing that needs to happen before this can come together properly, right? So you're just kind of, your energy is very up and down. I feel like, you know, you feel a real sense of high and low as well. You know, your mood can be very turbulent as well with this in the near future, because you're not seeing it quite come together just yet. But you do get a sense that this person, you know, either you're with or would like to be with, does have a lot emotionally invested in you as well. It's just that your energy is very up and down because there's still work to be done, as I keep saying. When it comes to the World card in reverse, 8 of Swords, air energy, and 10 of Pentacles. Wow. So yeah, you don't want to give up on this because you feel like this is the end game for you. This is your ultimate goal. This is everything you could ever hope for. However, you don't know how to proceed, right? You feel stuck because you know that things are not working right now, or things are just not really coming together now. But you're not sure what you should be doing, or how to approach this, or how do I even let this person know that I really want this, you know, 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, happy ever after, everything we could possibly want with this person. You're not sure how to even go about that discussion. Maybe this person doesn't know that you want that with them. But you're really conflicted on how to address this, right? I feel like you feel like you have a lot to give, right? I feel like, especially when it comes to not just emotionally, but I feel like you can invest financially into this connection as well, like get a house together in the future, things like that. But you're not sure how to broach the subject is what I feel. Clarifying your crowning energy here, coupled with the healing light in reverse, clarifying the 3 of Cups. Start again. So some of you are definitely dealing with an Aquarius, or you have Aquarius in your chart, but you have the Star and the 3 of Wands. So we also have two threes here as well. So the numbers 333 and 333 can also be important. You've got a lot going on in terms of numerology, a lot of the same cards, just confirming pretty much the same energies here. So yeah, this is very significant. So I definitely recommend looking at those numbers, angel numbers. And yeah, for those of you who know this is resonating for you, there is a real emphasis on, you know, pulling your energy back from looking beyond and waiting for something, you know, to magically appear, and doing the inner work, right? Because right now I feel like you're waiting on your wish fulfillment, right? You're waiting on it. You know that there's only so much you can do, so that's good. So you're understanding that there is a need to surrender to the universe and let things play out in divine timing. But for the meantime, instead of working on the self, you're distracting with vices, with going out if you're able to. So I feel like, you know, the emphasis right now, while you're in waiting, you know, sort of waiting for this to come within, for the universe to work on it for you, you're kind of distracting with vices, with, you know, things that bring pleasure, you know, temporary pleasure into your life. But that's not really what is required of you at this time. Yes, you should do things that bring fulfillment and joy. That is very, very positive, and it does help to really transform the energy that you feel stuck in for some time. But I do feel like you have to be aware that you may be self-sabotaging, i.e. if you're drinking a lot and just, you know, not focusing on actually, you know, doing that inner work. So just something to be aware of if you know you have been distracting yourself from doing the inner work, okay? Now, when it comes to your advice, the Magician, you have the 10 of Swords in reverse, and you have the Queen of Cups. So that is Cancer energy. Specifically, this is Cancer's card, so you could be dealing with a Cancerian. But I feel like here it's saying you have the power to rewrite your reality, okay? You have the tools, you have everything that is needed. However, the thing that is holding you back is the pain that you refuse to address. The pain you refuse to address is what's holding you back from reaching the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. It's not that you lack anything. It's just you haven't done a sufficient amount of healing to bring you to that 10, right? Because the 10 is completion, and we can see here with the World card in reverse, things are not complete, things are unfinished, things are unresolved here. And I feel like it's more within than externally, whatever, regardless of whatever external issues you're facing, it all starts from within. So there's a very strong emphasis here on healing, you know, dealing with the fear mindset, the, you know, saboteur thought processes that you may have, and healing the heart space as well, healing deep wounds within the heart so that you can open up and love fully again, okay? Now, when it comes to your external, clarifying the, what do you call it? Temperance, that's the one. You have the 6 of Swords and the 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah. So it takes time. So it's saying, look, right? Your focus needs to be on tempering yourself while the divine works on this, rather than doing things that's only going to bring more conflict into your life or more problems, right? Focus on what you can do to bring yourself into a daily state of peace, right? Mental, emotional serenity. Because I feel like it's been a lot. I feel like you've been fighting yourself more than anyone else on where to go from here, what to do, how to proceed, what the issue is, right? But ultimately it's just asking you to temper yourself and know that the more that you pour into yourself, do the inner work, overcome these inner conflicts, and really get into a state of serenity, peace, temper yourself, the more you'll be able to alchemize the situation, right? So it really has, what you do within has a direct effect on the connection, or, you know, calling in a divine counterpart, right? Now, when it comes to clarifying the 8 of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess, so that's Pisces. Some of you definitely dealing with a Pisces that's coming in strong. And you have the 2 of Swords in reverse. So, yeah, there's a fear of putting work into something that you've already decided upon, something that you intuitively know is meant for you, but you're absolutely terrified of it. So there's something or someone that you feel is meant for you, is destined for you. You just intuitively know that that is a significant part of your current timeline or near future timeline, right? But it's not quite ready. And while you're waiting, I feel like you're just absolutely terrified of the idea that, you know, you're going to have to confront the things that you've been avoiding, because you know you have to do this, right? You know what's meant for you. And I feel like even though on some level you may act like you don't know how to proceed forward, you do know. Intuitively, you do know that you have to make a decision to do this inner work, right? As we can see here, self-mastery energy. But, yeah, there is a lot of fear around that. You're afraid to confront those skeletons in your closet, or whatever trauma-based, you know, event this was, or whatever issues you experienced in your past that is still affecting you to this day. And then when it comes to the 6 of Wands in reverse in your hopes, you have the Magician again. So many cards repeating, you know, strong Virgo. And you also have the Page of Wands, okay, fire. So it's like you're hoping, yeah, this is it. I got a sense that this was it, right? But I didn't want to say until I got the confirmation. You're hoping, like I said, to attract things to you, i.e. as the Magician does, without having to overexert or force things, which is good, because I feel like you tried that in the past, it didn't work. So you're understanding where you need to align, right? So you're hoping you can align to whatever it is that you're trying to call in, i.e. this divine counterpart, I feel, or, you know, really getting this relationship to smoother waters if it has been turbulent, or even to, you know, a point of reconciliation if you have separated. But I feel like, yeah, you are wanting them, I feel, to reach out to you. You're hoping that, okay, let me get this. So you may already be in separation with someone who you feel is your person, and you're hoping that you will get a message, some kind of, you know, or they may even show up at your door. You're hoping that they'll reach out in some way to you, expressing that they also are wanting to create this victory with you, right? But with the Six of Wands in reverse, I feel like you're not the one that's actively trying to take steps, i.e. fight for the connection. You're hoping they're the ones that will fight for it. Maybe because you felt like you were the one that was constantly fighting in the past, and you're just tired, right? You want to see initiative taken on this person's part. If you're not in connection with someone you already know, then I feel like you're hoping that just by being in the right vibration, you will attract this person, this soulmate, right? And then finally, with the outcome here, i.e. status quo in reverse, clarifying the Two of Cups in reverse, you have the Devil. Here you are, Capricorn, so I knew you was going to come out eventually, and the Sun card, so Leo energy. So you could be dealing with a Leo or have it prominently in your chart. But I feel like, this is a very interesting combination. You're walking a very different path. It is a path that's going to bring you deep knowledge, deep fulfillment in the end, right? You will get to the sun. You will get to your happy ever after. However, before you can reach paradise, you have to walk through hell, is what I'm getting here. So you're kind of doing the whole, you're doing Dante's descent, is what I feel at this time, in order to reach, you know, paradise. So that's the problem here. I feel like you're wanting to skip doing the shadow work, i.e. dealing with this devil energy, and just get to happy ever after. But it doesn't work like that. You have to do this deep-rooted shadow work first, you know, confront where you may be self-sabotaging, these traumas, childhood wounds, vices, addictions, anything like that, right? Toxic behaviors, you know, things like that. Toxic environments, people, whatever is not serving you. You have to deal with that first in order to reach your sun, because until you address those things, you will not be in perfect harmony with your person, because you will not be in perfect harmony with yourself. So you see the mirroring, like, you know, what you both do within is going to affect what happens within the connection. It's just that simple. So I feel like your whole reading is screaming of that, to be honest, Capricorn. So what I'm going to do now is we'll go into an extended. So I will look at, first of all, the person you're dealing with, how they feel about you, if you already know this person, right? We'll then look at how you feel about them. We'll then get some tarot messages to see what's likely to play out at this time in the connection, and some further advice with that in mind. And then if you haven't met this person, we'll pull some cards to give you insight as to, you know, what can help you at this time overcome the shadow aspect, okay? These shadow attributes that are surfacing. So if you're interested in any of that, you can find the link in the description box below. Otherwise, if this is where we leave your reading, Capricorn, I just want to say thank you so much for checking this out. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notifications bell. And yeah, I feel like you know what it is that you need to do. This, if you needed confirmation, you know, this is it, if this is your situation. So, you know, just crack on. Take it step by step, day by day. No one's expecting you to be, you know, at a supreme human being level, you know, enlightened, you know, state of being overnight. Like, no, that's a life's work that we all strive to get to, right? To be like the full and most complete expression of ourselves, right? That's a life's work. So don't worry about that. Just take it step by step, day by day, and you will get there, okay? So sending you guys lots of encouragement, lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon.